I wish it was an exaggeration to say that ICE literally executed somebody yesterday in broad daylight.
Yeah, it was crazy, actually.
And we will be talking about that event in depth because there's just so much to pour through, and the justifications and rhetoric surrounding it are absolutely fucking insane. And of course, the vast majority of bad shit that happens because of ICE or because of these like immigration deportation operations are because of the Trump regime, right?
Yeah.
They're the ones that hyper focus on immigrants. They're the one that spin the lies. Trump's the one that said like they're poisoning the blood of the country in the 2024 election cycle. It's all the right wing's fault, but it couldn't be done without capitulation and concessions from the liberal, moderate wing of the Democratic Party.
100%. There are still Democrats that to this day run around and say, we had a bipartisan immigration bill that we would have passed, but Trump tanked it.
Yeah.
There are still Democrats that think that's a point.
Yeah, and there are Democrats like Haley Stevens from the great state of Michigan, she's running for Senate, who voted last year to express gratitude for ICE.
Yeah, Haley, what do you think about that now?
Yeah,
how do you feel about that vote now?
Exactly. Like it's fucking insane. And unfortunately, Haley Stevens running for Senate, one of our current senators, Elissa Slotkin, was asked about this event that unfolded in Minneapolis, ICE literally just executing somebody in broad daylight. And this is a part of an interview she was doing on what's called MS Now.
Yes.
Where she was talking about Venezuela for most of it. But then because this was breaking news at about 5 o'clock yesterday, which would be January 7th for us, she was asked about this event that unfolded.
Okay, so this broke mid-interview. Like this news story broke, or like it broke right before the interview and she didn't think she was going to get asked about it? Like she's freeballing this answer?
I think the news came out on the afternoon of Wednesday, and this interview was about 6 p.m. Eastern time on Wednesday.
Okay.
So it was a couple of hours later. She'll get into it. I think we're going to listen to her full answer because it's just fucking insane.
Yeah, I have no idea what this is. I'm excited.
But just to preface it really quickly, she was asked if she had been briefed by DHS as to what happened in Minneapolis. That's the question she's asked, and this is the answer that she's going to give.
This is the answer she's going to give. Okay, all right.
Not yet been briefed. I've seen the video just online, like many Americans, I guess, at this point. I guess, I would say everyone needs to take a breath. I wasn't there. You weren't there. We need to understand the context. Obviously, the video does not look good. But we need, I'm always wary of sort of first reports and the armchair warriors who are telling us what's happening.
It was a video.
I know that there are protests going on.
You could watch it.
People to please be peaceful. Don't take the bait and give people what they want, which is a reason to put more and more force into a place like Minneapolis. But to be honest, I have been warning about this kind of thing for a long time. Mm-hmm. When you put law enforcement or uniformed military on the streets of American cities in this level, mistakes are going to happen.
Mistakes.
Lack of training. You're going to have a lot of new people on the streets there. And then you create a cycle of escalation that's hard to contain. And I think I'm concerned that that's what we're seeing now in Minneapolis. So I'd ask everyone to take a breath and just wait for us to understand what happened and not escalate. That means not protesters, but that also means the Trump administration.
Oh, framing it as a mistake, maybe that's a Freudian slip on her part.
Maybe.
It's insane. ICE shouldn't be making mistakes where they fucking shoot a civilian.
Yeah, we can't express how much that an American citizen was shot and killed in broad daylight by immigration enforcement. And Elissa Slotkin's issue with this is that officers aren't trained well enough. Maybe if we throw more money at ICE, even though they're funded more than most modern militaries, maybe if we give them some more money for training, then they'll get a little bit better at, grabbing immigrants when they're going to their court hearings, or they'll get better at doing fucking military style raids on apartment buildings. It's fucking absurd for your issue to be with what happened with Minneapolis, for your issue to be they aren't trained well enough.
It's just she's so cop-pilled. She's so CIA brained. She can't fathom the humanity of the situation. I even think there's an aspect of training that's involved in this, because something like this happens because an ICE agent is just some fucking loser who is picked up off the street, given student debt forgiveness, given a $50,000 sign-on bonus, and told that they can live out some action hero fantasy if they go and kidnap people or pull guns on civilians that disobey their orders. There is some training to be said about a dude who just pulls a gun and shoots somebody when things don't go his way. But it's just it's so just an odd focus. It's just, I feel like we're just focusing on the wrong thing here. I feel like you had an opportunity to talk about how ICE like sucks bigly writ large. And instead you took it to well, if we just trained these law enforcement officers better, they'd go out there and do a better job at the bad thing they're doing already.
But like ICE as an organization was designed to terrorize immigrant communities. Like that's the purpose of ICE as an organization. It's why we say that like abolishing ICE has to be the moderate position for any upcoming election, 2026 or 2028, because this is the type of shit that they do. And it's more belligerent and brazen and like vulgar at this point. But this is ICE as a fucking organization.
And it's like, clearly people are outraged by what happened, rightfully so.
Yeah.
And so for Elissa Slotkin, somebody who is kind of trying to position herself as who is a rising star in the Democratic Party, according to Schumer, for her, someone who is going to be more public, to get out here and just actively like quell any momentum that they had, just actively say, stop the armchair experts. Look, I'm a guy who gets on here and talks about how annoying it is for the bullet trajectory experts to get on and make their little videos and talk about whatnot when we're just analyzing the minutia and not focusing on like the broad awfulness writ large, right? I think that's annoying. But for a senator to go out here and be like, protesters, calm the fuck down. It's just fucking weird,
Somebody was killed in broad daylight. What are we talking about?
ICE is already unpopular. They're going around and they just kill the mother in broad daylight in a fashion that is just plainly and obviously awful. Everybody's mad about it, and you're like, guys, let's analyze the facts. There was 3 videos right there that everyone saw, whether they wanted to or not, about what happened. Yeah. Like, everybody's got an opinion on this. There's not really much more to happen. There's not much more information that can come out that's going to change people's minds on this. And that's not just people are so set in their ways kind of take. That's I saw everything I needed to see.
Yeah, no, and it's like she says that in that interview after being asked about Venezuela and essentially saying like, oh yeah, I was really impressed with the military operation to go in and get Maduro. Like she is fucking evil, man. And she's my senator.
As the most CIA-brained person ever. CIA brain rot.
I cannot fucking stand these Democrats, dude. Like, the operations against immigrants and this like fascist tide trying to like ethnically cleanse this country is obviously the fault of the left, or is obviously the fault of the right wing. But this couldn't be happening without key concessions from people like Elissa Slotkin on this issue. They would not have been able to build up all of this anti-immigrant sentiment had people like her not conceded at every fucking step along the way and gave ground for them to do shit like this. Like, it is an obvious dialectic working itself out in front of us, and this is where we are. It took 1 year, less than 1 year of this administration, and a U.S. citizen has been executed by immigration enforcement. Immigration enforcement, not police.
Yeah.
They are not, and like, we talk all the time about how police killing people is bad, and we will continue to talk about it. But this is fucking immigration. Like, things are getting to a point where it's like, I don't know how we come back from this.
She's just so moderate in a time where that's the exact wrong thing to be right now. And I'm not saying like we don't. It's plainly and obviously bad.
Plainly and
obviously
what I'm trying
to say.
And other Democrats had spoken out before that. Like, people were already saying like, hey dog, this shit's really bad.
Yeah.
And she was like, well, let's hold on. It might look bad. It's like, no, dog, it is bad.
It might look bad. Let's wait for more information to come out. Let's measure ourselves. Let's temper our expectations. I'm going to talk about protesters escalating first before I talk about the Trump administration. Dog.
Yeah.
Stop.
Yeah, it's fucking bad. Welcome back to Head in the Office, everybody. Somehow it is only January 8th.
Yeah, man. That's... It being only January 8th is crazy. Today on the show, obviously, we're talking about ICE killing the mother in Minneapolis. We also got to talk about Venezuela.
Yeah.
But I would forgive you if you kind of forgot about that, because I kind of did too. Everything is happening so fast all the time at an even quicker pace than it was in 2025. And that's got to be a record of some sort. Not any good record that anyone wants to hold, but like one of those bad ones.
Yeah, somehow the main story of today and of this episode is not the fact that we decapitated a foreign government like a week ago, but is instead the fact that federal agents are just killing civilians now.
Yeah, no, literally, like in the span between like recording the last episode about Venezuela on Monday and recording this episode on Thursday, right? I had 2 days in between. I had Tuesday and Wednesday. I thought that I was going to sit back. I was going to read about fucking Russian oil tankers. I was going to read about Venezuela. I was going to read about blah, 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 regime change, whatever, people's reactions to it. And then no, everything literally happened ever in between that 2 day span. And the things are just completely different now.
It's fucking, how is a white boy supposed to keep up?
Exactly.
How is a corked up white boy supposed to keep up? Well,
it's impossible in this climate. It really is.
Before we get into all of that, I will remind you all that if you want early access to this content and getting timely access to independent media like this, more important than ever, you should become a patron. Patreon.com/headintheofficepod.
In these trying times.
In these trying times.
Look how quick the news changing. Fuck it. By Friday, they could have, like, I don't know, done something else that's evil and awful and incomprehensible, and everything will have forgot about this. Who knows?
These are the times that try men's souls. And
Precisely.
That is my bar that I came up with on the spot, not a historical standard. So become a patron, early access to all of our stuff. Also subscribe on Substack, where we're putting out bigger think pieces, folks.
We're putting out bigger think pieces, and
putting out video.
We just launched something new.
Yeah, we just launched something new on our second channel, which will be in the description.
Please subscribe.
Please subscribe. We just posted our first major video essay in the sort of formula that we're going to be using moving forward. The link to that will also be in the description if you missed it. All of that content will be posted on the second channel. We'll do it in collaboration with the main HITO channel so that it shows up in your feed a little bit easier, but it'll be hosted on that channel. Please subscribe, press the fucking bell and the hype button, whatever that means.
Yes, sir. But
it boosts us in the algo and is very helpful.
And important for you to recognize, we got long form, the OG, that's where we started. We got short form. That's how we get the long form out there. And now we got mid form video.
We do.
We got every single form. What that's some kind of integration.
Yeah, and I did a very deep dive across Tuesday and Wednesday.
Yep.
And spent a lot of time making the video good, just for all of it to not be the main story anymore.
Just for it to feel wholly and entirely irrelevant. Yeah.
Yeah. No, it was, it's not great, but the video is there. I'm proud of it. So go and take a look. It'll be linked below. Subscribe and follow on all of the social medias. It is in the description. And lastly, you can leave us a 5-star review. We've got one from Apple and a couple from Instagram to get to.
We do. I'll start with Instagram.
All right, go ahead.
I'll start with Instagram. This one from Casey. Review title: Men who are allowed to have a podcast. That's big these days. There's a lot of them that shouldn't be. Hi, HITO team. I started listening a few months ago after discovering your content on TikTok. I really loved an older video where you both said you don't give a shit about illegal immigration as a political issue, while obviously still caring about undocumented people's rights. Big on that. I was psyched to learn that you're based in my home state of Michigan. I grew up in Okemos, right next to East Lansing. Go green, go white, and went to college out of state, but I still root for blue collar MSU over those elitist posers in Ann Arbor, except for Dr. Abdul, of course. I shared your Dr. Abdul interview with all my Michigan family members, and it convinced my mom to vote for him.
Wow.
I'm also a lifelong Detroit Lions fan who now lives in Chicago, so I'm grateful for your Lions references. They keep me humble. Yeah, and I'm sure that win did too.
Yeah.
What can I say?
9-8, baby.
A few weeks into listening, I had to join Patreon because I couldn't wait the extra days for my bi-weekly HITO fix. Glad I contribute to your buy a house in cash fund while the US dollar still has any relevance to the global economy. As a 33-year-old woman, listening to these two young men gives me hope for the future and the male gender, and keeps me up to date on both political news and Gen Z slang, just like my Democrats in Congress. I condemn all political violence. Thanks to HITO for spreading a coherent, positive, and informative left-wing message, very much unlike my Democrats.
Jesus Christ.
P.S. I think my Spotify username, Bernie Sanders, get it, would be a fun drag queen name. What would your drag queen names be? My drag queen name would be Jeremy, and his would be Gage.
There we go. We figured it out. This next one from Autumn 11 2001, just a heart for the subject line, 5-star review.
What can I say?
Thank you so much for all that you do. I have the unfortunate tragedy of living in the hellscape that is Florida. So true. As a black woman who would rather eat a pair of blue jeans with a side of Popeye's biscuits than listen to a white man, I greatly appreciate. I greatly appreciate your reminders that I am not crazy. I found you guys on TikTok when you teased your 107 days book review, and I've been binging ever since. Your holiday preparation series saved me so much this season. This comment is my contribution to your dream of buying a cash home.
Let's go.
As always, I condemn all forms of political violence, and I wish you both a prosperous year. If your year is not prosperous, I hope, much like the Democrats, you'll write a book about your losses with no introspection, lots of filler words, and a couple of redactions.
Guys,
valid.
we got no growth this year, and it's not our fault. Why we didn't grow this year, and it's actually your fault.
Yeah,
that might have to hit the Substack if things don't pop off hugely this year.
I still just adore the fact that Kamala Harris's only issue with her campaign is that it wasn't long enough.
Oh my, yeah, real.
Like, you knew what you were getting into. Also, it should have been shorter.
I also adore the fact that this dear listener found us because of the book review.
Yeah.
Speaking to the power of HITO book reviews, there might have to be more in this season. In this new season of HITO, but I gotta read the book first. And that's going to be the hardest part. You know what I'm saying? It's hard to get through these.
I hate spending my weekend reading the book.
It's hard.
Yeah.
I read Independent in one sitting in one day, and it was, whew. Whew,
and that was only
torture.
170 pages.
Exactly. It was hardly
bad.
It was a novella.
Yeah.
Ridiculous.
Yeah.
This next review from Nico. As a longtime listener, I officially have subscribed to the Patreon and have a review. Love you all. Big on Patreon. As a newly bequeathed 1101 Patreon subscriber, I strongly condemn all political violence except the cool ones. There are no cool political violences is what I would say. So I think that means you condemn it all. And because that number is cool, I advocate the military operation of invading the sovereign state of HITO in order to kidnap Gage and regime change him with myself, as the role of podcaster buying a house with cash was promised to me 5,000 years ago. Hold on a minute,
US
guys.
is installing a new host at the office.
Guys, we've been usurped. Yeah. We've been host changed. But as a communist in the Pacific Northwest, y'all are a consistent breath of fresh air in the rising tides of American empire. Despite the occasionally lived up rhetoric, sorry, state propaganda is really hard to unlearn. I empathize. Crazy, ridiculous take. Y'all's rightful bashing of America's fascist diaspora is a soothing sound in the litany of bad things getting badder. And as a fellow baddie, I thank you all. The regime change will keep the cat, but also include some new sponsors of unnamed Russian origin. I need to fund a skate park and lie about being the next guy. That's great.
That's so funny.
Timmy Smollett, folks. Timmy Smollett. What can I say?
No.
Without further ado.
Oh, I was going to say, the replacement for Gage be like, Ezra Klein's got a good point here. Replacement for Gage be like, this might be a distraction.
Replacement for Gage. Replacement for Gage be like, guys, we're reading Abundance on the next HITO book club.
We're doing a positive review of Abundance. I think they have some important points to make.
Guys, Ezra Klein and Derek Thompson, Ezra Klein and Thompson fellow, they said a lot of good things about housing here.
Yeah. Anyways, getting into the news, ICE killed somebody.
Yeah, and it actually sucks hugely.
Not the first time, but the first time as an American citizen.
True, and the first time it was so kind of just blatantly awful. You know what I mean? There's some things that happened before. There were some people that died because ICE was around. There were some people that ICE had killed, but this time it was just so visceral.
Yeah.
And that sucks.
It's insane.
And I kind of want to underscore what's going on here, what happened in Minneapolis by saying that ICE was deployed to Minneapolis because a right-wing slop tuber went around to daycares and demanded to see children.
Yes.
And now a mother is dead because of it, because ICE shot and killed her.
And in that operation that was sort of, I guess, spearheaded by Nick Shirley was like a coordinated op to get people to pay attention to Somalis in Minnesota.
Yeah.
That it was coordinated between him and the Republican Party in that state and other people who want to see a Republican governor get elected. And they don't even hide it.
No, not at all. It's astroturf to all hell. Yeah. And that's a huge part of the reason genuinely why ICE is there. ICE is there to target the Somali population because of fraud. That's what Trump and all these people say.
And it feels vitally important to note that the vast majority of Somalis in Minnesota and even in Minneapolis are American citizens, either naturally born or naturalized American citizens.
Yeah.
They're not immigrants. They might be descendant from a different country, but they are American citizens, same as you and me. There's no difference.
It's also really important to note with Somali fraud and the daycare fraud that they're all talking about is that a white woman was the ringleader.
It was a white woman.
So
come on, man.
What are we doing?
A white woman spearheads a fraud operation to steal from government coffers, and a minority group gets blamed. Fucking tale as old as time.
Tale as old as time,
man.
dude. I swear to God. But yeah, that's kind of what's underscoring this. This situation has been awful from the start. ICE being in Minneapolis has been awful from the start, and there's been no reason for it.
Yeah.
It's all just one big hubbubaloo. It's just some bullshit, kind of like ICE's operation in general. But now that got that out of the way, and we're kind of zooming in on what happened yesterday, or I would say Wednesday, with this woman being killed by an ICE agent. When something like this happens, I just kind of want to preempt the conversation. People start litigating every single move that the victim makes, granting the officer who killed them, anytime these officer-involved shootings happen, just kind of this infinite grace.
Yeah,
no matter
blanche,
what happened, and that's just bullshit. No matter what, any slight that can be perceived, anything that the victim of these shootings may have done wrong will be a point in favor of the cop gunning them down and murdering them every single time. And it is so fucking frustrating to deal with. It should not be a death sentence to run away from the cops.
Yeah. No, and it explicitly isn't in the law. If somebody's running away, you don't just shoot them.
Exactly.
What this cop easily could have done, and I'm sure we'll go over the basics, but you take down her description and license plate. Bing bong, she can get arrested later for obstructing justice or whatever the fuck. But instead, she's literally dead for no reason.
Yeah.
And you shouldn't be cool with agents of the state just executing people, especially because, and again, I'm never going to say like a cop killing someone is cool or even an FBI agent like just wantonly killing somebody is cool.
Killing people just isn't cool.
Killing people bad, right? Hot take. But this was an immigration officer. Yeah. Immigration officers have no jurisdiction over U.S. citizens.
Yeah.
Like that's not your deal, man.
It's not your deal. That's not what you're supposed to be doing. Like focus on whatever the awful thing you're supposed to be doing is, and then I'll fight against you being able to do that. It's
supposed to be like civil enforcement. Like that's what ICE is. Like when ICE goes and carries out operations, or if they detain people, what they do is never supposed to be a punishment because that's not their purview. That's not what they do. They are not in the business of punishing people.
And despite that, they're still arresting U.S. citizens. Like there are times where they still detain U.S. citizens and whatnot because they can't get their own shit together. There's just a huge problem broadly right now with ICE just sort of operating with impunity. ICE just kind of grabbing whoever they want. The Supreme Court told them that it's completely legal for them to profile anybody, so they're doing that.
Yeah.
And they're getting U.S. citizens because of it. They're getting immigrants because of it. Everything that ICE is doing right now is just kind of bad and awful. Yeah. And this is kind of, I think, not the culmination of that, but I guess when it comes to public outrage, this is sort of a boiling point.
Yeah.
Because people are out there in Minneapolis right now protesting. Well, people have been protesting since last night. And cops and law enforcement in Minneapolis are clashing with protesters like as we speak.
Yeah, I saw a video of, I don't know if it was a cop or if it was an ICE agent or who it was, but they just like shot this guy dead in the face with smoke screen. Tear gas.
I saw
just
that
like
one
right
too.
in his head, and it's like, what are we doing
There's
here?
that one. They're launching tear gas in crowds. They're shooting pepper balls into crowds.
You can't control like what is going to get people's attention, because I had a screenshot here of an article from the Marshall Project where they essentially outline how in September, a father originally from Mexico, I'm quoting this, a father originally from Mexico who worked as a cook was killed while reportedly trying to flee from officers in a Chicago suburb. And then there's another example of a man that was killed in December who, according to ICE agents, was like resisting arrest, basically.
Yeah.
So like those didn't get a bunch of attention, and maybe there was like a little bit more plausible deniability. I'm not going to grant him that, but like, okay, maybe those things don't get attention. This one gets a lot of attention. When an issue you care about is blasted into orbit, you just got to latch on and go for the ride. You know what I mean? And same with like George Floyd in the same city, by the way, in Minneapolis. Like there were tons of examples of police brutality against black people, completely unjustified, before George Floyd, even around George Floyd, or even after George Floyd, that didn't get as much attention as George Floyd. But we take those opportunities to raise awareness of the issue. And if this is what gets people to pay attention, then unfortunately, as grim as it is, you got to take the opportunity as it comes.
Absolutely. And it's like, it's not like it's a, how do I word this? It's not like it's like an improper situation to be elevating to get people attention.
It is insane.
What happened here was crazy.
Yeah.
What happened here was crazy. And whenever there's a law enforcement officer involved shooting, that sparks outrage. The floodgates sort of just open, and every right-wing personality, whether that be a senator, a House member, or just any random influencer.
The vice president
comes out here and they just say shit like, a cop wouldn't have killed you if you'd have just followed orders. A cop wouldn't have killed you if you just listened to literally everything they said. The cop wouldn't have killed you if you didn't look at him funny.
Yeah, exactly.
Because that's kind of what this boils down to. And the Texas representative Wesley Hunt said on an interview with Newsmax, quote, "The bottom line is this: when a federal officer gives you instructions, you abide by them, and then you get to keep your life." That's crazy. Not a standard that we should have for law enforcement.
Yeah.
You should not be walking around having to fear that if a cop tells you to do something unlawfully, you're going to die because of it. Or that if you disobey a cop in any way that's not actually genuinely threatening to the life of them or others around you, that you're going to die because of it. That's not law enforcement. That is tyranny. That's the tyranny these don't tread on me motherfuckers are supposed to be fighting against. That's the tyranny all these 2A people are supposed to be fighting against.
And it's hard to see this as distinct from Stephen Miller a few days ago literally saying, basically, might makes right. Like, we're a superpower. We can do whatever we want because we have the power to do it. Yeah. That's what this is, right? Like, if the state has more power than you, which it always does, they have a monopoly on violence, then they can do whatever they want to you. And if you disobey, then they'll literally kill you. Like, there's no way to see that other than what it is, a threat to your life.
Yeah.
And that's bad.
And it's so crazy to, again, see all of these conservatives that run around here all the time talking about a tyrannical government, talk about, you can't put red flag laws on guns because it would stop me from fighting against a tyrannical government, when it's kind of like right here. Yeah. Obviously, Trump isn't a dictator like yet. You know what I'm saying? This isn't complete and utter tyranny yet, but we're kind of getting there. This is damn near close. It doesn't always start with the military storming the streets and checkpoints on every corner. It starts with an organization being funded more than the goddamn IDF to go and capture people out of their homes and go and maybe even kill civilians, quote unquote, on accident or in self-defense and getting away with it. It starts with law enforcement operating with impunity, doing whatever they want. It starts with these people being able to hide their faces.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's just like we've been told for as long as we've been doing political commentary that the right wing needs access, the unrestricted access to firearms because it prevents a government from falling into tyranny. But you can't do, or you shouldn't do anything about a government that says that there's an invasion which authorizes behavior so far as actually taking a life.
Yes.
Like and that's the basis for these ICE operations, right? They say that there's literally an invasion happening to the United States. That's what they've been saying for like months at this point. And that threat extends so far that we can kill you if we need to. Like, I don't know, man. Feels like tyranny.
It feels like tyranny. Feel like that like sucks hugely.
Yeah.
That sucks bigly. If you've made it this far in the video, comment that sucks bigly down
exactly.
below. You know what I'm saying? But like, let's look at like what actually happened in the video that went out there. Because if you watch the thing, it's clear to see that the ICE agent that shot this woman, their life was never in danger, and they were never in any like real danger of actual like bodily harm.
Yeah.
And I have this 2-minute video from the New York Times that I want to play. I think it does a good job at explaining what's happening in the video for our audio listeners, but it just overall kind of shows what's happening in a clear and plain way. It takes videos, splices them together so we get a full picture with all the information that's available to the public now. And so here's the explanation.
2 agents exit this silver pickup and walk toward the vehicle.
Insane that they just pull up in a silver pickup truck.
Moments later, shots are fired. Let's look at the scene again more closely. This is the agent who shoots the driver. He walks around the car filming and disappears from view.
I do want to pause right there. So the officer that shot her, the kind of, not to like jest about the situation that's bad, but he's literally filming a protester that's like filming him. So every time you have like a interaction with like cops or like a high profile situation with like ICE where people are running around observing, people are going to be recording.
Yeah.
That's just kind of what happens. Everybody's got a goddamn camera in their pocket. It's the most like annoying chud ass guy thing to do to pull out a camera and film somebody who's filming you to hold you accountable. You are a person who's been deputized literally by the state to be able to do violence against fellow citizens or other people in the name of the law. People are going to record you to make sure that you're acting in accordance with what you can and cannot do.
Especially given what ICE has been doing for a whole year.
To be the type of guy to pull out your camera and be like, you're recording me, I'm recording you, is the exact kind of guy that I would expect to do some bullshit like you know, not to like jest, but like, come on, brother.
Yeah, Kristi Noem also said that this same guy had been like hit and dragged by a car 6 months ago and had a bunch of stitches or something like that. And it's like, okay, first of all, why can't you get away from these cars, man? Second of all,
maybe we should stop standing in front of cars.
Second of all, yeah, exactly. Second of all, no life experience is going to justify what this fucking guy does.
And it's also, once again, everybody's a liberal. He's got past trauma, so he can do whatever he wants. What can you people do?
Fucking liberal Hitler, dude.
Fucking liberal Hitler, man. That's what everybody wants to be, I swear to God. Yeah. But back to the video, I had to point out the recording thing, because it's fucking insane. And you'll see as we continue through this video, he has his phone out, and he's recording what's going on, like, up until he stops and puts his phone away to pull his gun out.
Yeah,
he just trades 1 for 1 here, and they're both awful.
Fucking so farcical, dude. It's
so
ridiculous.
insane. First is tragedy, then it's right. That's going to be the goddamn theme of this administration.
Other agents pull up and order the driver to exit her vehicle. One of them grabs at the door handle and reaches inside. The SUV reverses, then turns right, apparently attempting to leave. At the same time, the agent filming crosses toward the left of the vehicle and grabs his gun. He opens fire on the motorist and continues shooting as she drives past. The moment the agent fires, he is standing here, to the left of the SUV, and the wheels are pointing to the right, away from the agent.
Huge.
This appears to conflict with allegations that the SUV was ramming or about to ram the officer. President Trump and others said the federal agent was hit by the SUV, often pointing to another video filmed from a different angle. And it's true that at this moment in this grainy low-resolution footage, it does look like the agent is being struck by the SUV. But when we synchronize it with the first clip, we can see the agent is not being run over. In fact, his feet are positioned away from the SUV.
And that's the big thing right there. So Trump and everybody has been posting that low resolution, like further off video to show that, like, look, the ICE officer was hit by the car. Clearly she was trying to hit him. One, obviously you can tell from the video, if you have eyes and you're not blind, that she was never trying to drive towards the guy. You position yourself in front of a car and the car's got to move forward to turn. Like, some things can happen.
And
sometimes.
she reversed first.
That's one thing. She reversed first. She's very clearly trying to just flee the scene and get away. Say what you will about that. That is not something that you should lose your life over, no matter the circumstance. Point blank. That's how that situation should be handled. You just get out of the fucking way. And again, you look at the video and you look closely. Dude's feet are on the side of the car.
Yep.
The moment that people are saying he makes contact is not the moment he shoots. He waits to shoot her until after the car has already made contact with him, if it even made contact in the first place, which is debatable. He's reaching over the hood of her car with his feet planted on the side to shoot through the windshield, the front windshield, and then shoot through the roll down like driver's side window as she drives away.
Yeah, and it also looked like he went to pull out his gun before she started accelerating. And turning.
Like as soon as she like put it in drive, he's already pulling out his gun.
Exactly, yeah.
Like, what are we talking about? There was never like any like thought to just get out of the way or something. Like it's like there was murder on the mind.
It's just, I mean, and like on some critical thinking shit, like if a car is hurtling towards you, right? You got like 10 feet of space between you and the front of this car, and she is legitimately trying to hit you. Just shooting the driver means you still get hit.
No, I'm saying, car barreling down the highway, 60 miles per hour at me. I take out the driver, I'm still getting hit if I'm planted right there.
Just get out of the way, dog. Take down her license plate number and report her to the police.
Exactly.
And you'll probably get her on trumped up charges anyway.
And nobody would be fucking talking about this, and you'd probably be considered a hero.
Exactly.
Christy Noem would probably still blast you all over the place.
Purple heart.
Purple heart.
Exactly.
There's still probably going to be a purple heart for just the biggest bullshit ever. But exactly, like if, and it's a big if, that she was ever a threat to this agent's life, he didn't shoot her until after the threat was neutralized. He didn't shoot her until after he was out of the path of the car, until she was not gonna hurt anybody and just drive down the fucking street.
Yeah.
You can't call that self-defense. You can't call reacting after that self-defense. The threat was over.
Yeah.
If anything, it was retaliation.
And we often hear this thing, especially when we talk about incidents of like police violence or police brutality, especially when they're against like black and brown people. But oftentimes people are like, oh, well, he only had like split seconds to make a decision. He didn't know what was going to happen. So he had to make a choice super quickly, and you can't fault him for what he did. That's the job.
That's the job.
Like, you do have to just make the right decision. And if you don't, that's murder.
And it's also
like I don't know, man. You got to be able to know what's happening.
It being a split second decision doesn't mean it can't be a wrong decision. Like just point blank. If you're the Carolina Panthers and you want to win the Super Bowl and you're Cam Newton and you make the split second decision to not jump on the football when you fumble it, hey, man, you made the decision to not win.
Yeah, exactly.
You can't do it. You can make the wrong split-second decision. And when the stakes are life and death, you should be scrutinized for making those split-second decisions. And that's why I do think it's like, if this was genuinely somebody who was actually like a trained law enforcement officer, if we focus on things that you can do to de-escalate situations, or things that you can do to not just immediately resort to the most violent outcome possible, this doesn't happen. If somebody is trained, one, maybe they don't stand in front of the fucking car, in the first place, or two, they think instead of grabbing their gun first that they should, I don't know, just get out of the fucking way.
I don't know, man. To me, the whole like training argument, like, yeah, sure, it would pull back on some of the most like brazen and vulgar examples of what ICE has been doing, but it would, like, the organization is still fundamentally evil.
But that's the point, though.
Yeah,
like, that's the point, is that these guys don't know what they're doing.
Yeah.
These ICE agents are people who have been picked out of the street, given $50,000 sign-on bonuses, told they were going to get their student debt taken away, gone through like whatever training course. We got fucking Meal Team 6 out here running around. They don't know what they're doing.
Yeah.
There are situations where, you need to stop somebody who is in a car from going to do something. There are situations where somebody in a car is going to try to drive through you to go somewhere else, and you need to know what to do if you're going to be working in a job that puts you in those situations. I disagree with like what ICE is doing in the first place. I think what ICE is doing in general is just awful, and that's something that should be underscored. But it's also important to point out that like these guys aren't even equipped to do the bad job they're supposed to be doing.
It is true. It is true. They're just like plucking people off the street that have murder on the mind and giving them a gun and like some official looking clothing. I just worry that like the narrative that like the moderate centrist like Elissa Slotkin will take away from this is that like, oh, the only thing wrong with these deportations and everything they're doing is that we need to train them up.
Well,
a little
that's
bit
the
more.
problem with what Elissa Slotkin is saying, though. Elissa Slotkin goes out and says it's the training, and that's only the training. I think that the training is part of why you get here, but you also get here because what ICE is doing is Gestapo shit.
Yeah.
Like, it's I think it is genuinely like an important like thing to go down if you want to figure out like why things are happening like the way they're happening. And I think that like the fact that this officer pulled out his gun before he moved to get out of the way.
Yeah.
Just kind of speaks to what the entire just ICE and mass deportation operation is about in the first place. It's just like the perfect little microcosm for what's going on because these people have violence on the mind. The goals of ICE as an organization is violence. It's to go out here and it's to aesthetically brutalize people. Yeah. So that's what they're doing. And that's what we're seeing. That's what's playing out almost every fucking time.
Yeah, it's rough, and it doesn't help that like the administration has essentially said that there's like an epidemic of people trying to hit ICE agents with their cars.
Yeah.
I haven't seen any evidence of this at all. Like, sure, it happened, but it's like they're so often doing like traffic stops. Well, you know what I mean?
They're doing traffic stops, or what ICE is doing is they're in unmarked cars, and then they block you in while they're in their unmarked car, and then you see dudes in fucking fake tactical gear get out of the car, mob deep, surround you. Yeah, some people are going to try and get out. Yeah, like maybe an officer's going to get clipped in that situation. It's a bad situation, like all the fuck around. Maybe ICE shouldn't be doing that in the first place. Maybe ICE shouldn't be putting themselves in that position. I've seen a lot of people say that this mother shouldn't have been there anyway. She was doing legal observer shit or whatever the fuck from Missouri, and she had been here. That doesn't fucking matter. ICE shouldn't be doing this in the first place either.
Also, like legal observer. Legal, like that's fully within her rights to do that. You were allowed to pull up on ICE and like record what they're doing. Like that is fully legal.
Exactly. And people are saying she was blocking the road beforehand. Video looks like she was blocking the road beforehand. I don't care. Like figure it out and arrest her. Don't fucking kill her.
Yeah, no, you can just charge her with the crime, man.
None of this is a death sentence. Breaking the law is not a death sentence. Disobeying an officer's orders is not a death sentence. Just being fucking annoying to cops isn't a death sentence. It doesn't make any fucking sense. It's ridiculous. And these guys are just fucking dorks who are plucked off the street to live out this goddamn action hero fantasy, when in reality they're just cowardly pricks who are running around with face masks and abducting day laborers and now like killing a mother in Minneapolis for damn near no goddamn reason, for no real reason.
And I think today they were at like a high school in Minneapolis, just like pulling up and terrorizing people.
And now high schools in Minneapolis or schools in Minneapolis are just like done for the week now.
Yeah.
Like they're not doing school because the community is scared of terror and what's going on now, because there was just not an act of like terror, but like kind of.
Yeah, and like the context to this was Nick Shirley fucking lying about Somalians committing a bunch of fraud in the city of Minneapolis. And then after that, the context of this is that the Trump administration sent in like 2,000 guys. Yes. 2,000 guys into Minneapolis. That's a standing army. Like, that's an occupying army. That's going to make things tense. That's going to make shit like this a lot more likely.
Of course, people already don't like ICE.
Yeah.
People already don't like what's going on. Like, everywhere ICE goes, like, violence follows.
And you're sending them on a false pretense about a community that's mostly, like, citizens.
Exactly.
Like, what are we talking about?
But it's like, even with the facts, even with the videos that we just talked about, the New York Times video that we sat through and watched to figure out what's actually happening, that's not stopping the administration from just outright lying like they always do.
Yeah, they called her a domestic terrorist.
Kristi Noem got on a press conference immediately and called her a domestic terrorist who turned her car into a weapon to try and assault an ICE officer.
Yeah.
Are you fucking serious right now?
They think you're fucking stupid. Like, they think that they can genuinely get away with anything, and shit, maybe they can.
But they also,
like, I don't know if anything's going to happen here.
They're just doing the fascist thing.
Yeah.
Every slight against you is the worst thing that anyone could ever possibly do to you. Any slight against you is domestic terrorism. Any time that you voice opposition, it's terrorism, and you have to stop. Words are violence. Everyone's a liberal.
Brother, I just got a letter from DTE shifting some processing fees onto me. That's domestic terrorism.
That's more domestic terrorism than what was going on right here in Minneapolis.
DTE is going to charge me for paying my energy bill? That's domestic terrorism. Are you fucking kidding me?
What do you mean I can't just pay the bill? What do you mean I got to pay the bill?
Yep.
What are we talking about?
That's domestic terror, brother.
That's a more real domestic terrorism. But I want to read Trump's Truth Social here, because it's like, got to get it from the horse's mouth. You know what I'm saying? Kristi Noem's going to say bullshit. Everyone else is going to say bullshit. Trump's also going to say bullshit, but I think it's particularly important when he does. And I do want to read you this statement. Bear with me. It's kind of long. He posted on the Department of Homeland Security Twitter account posted this Truth Social like image and said, "Stand with ICE" in all caps. Corny.
Fucking whatever.
So Trump said, "I have just viewed the clip." Remember, this is the clip that we either just like watched or listened to.
Yeah, stand with ICE.
Depending on your mode of blah, blah, blah. Huge. Trump said, "I just viewed the clip of the event which took place in Minneapolis, Minnesota. It is a horrible thing to watch. The woman screaming was obviously a professional agitator.
Insane,
and the woman driving the car was very disorderly, obstructing and resisting, who then violently, willfully, and viciously ran over the ICE officer, who seems to have shot in self-defense. Based on the attached clip, it is hard to believe he is alive, but is now recovering in the hospital."
It's hard to believe he's alive. He didn't get hit at all.
What the fuck are we talking about? Yeah, it's debatable if he even got hit at all. Yeah. And if he even did get hit, I watch dudes get hit harder every Sunday. Like, what are we talking about? And if he did get hit, he didn't shoot until after the threat was over. He didn't shoot till after it happened, and everybody would have been on their merry way, and you could have called Minneapolis Police Department, given her the plates that you have on your body camera footage, and said, "Hey, arrest this woman for assaulting an officer." And then they would have fucking done it, because cops love doing that.
And after the dude supposedly got hit, quote unquote, he was still standing on his own 2 feet.
And then he walked down there. And then he walked down there. He said, "Hey, somebody call the cops."
Yeah.
Somebody call an ambulance. And then walked back, and then he's not to be seen anymore.
And then nobody would let a doctor approach. Like, Jesus Christ, man. Like, it is so brazen. And the fact that they think they can get away with this is honestly kind of haunting.
It's actually ridiculous.
Yeah.
And just like the way that Trump lies here is just like, it feels more and more and more than he usually lies. What do you mean you saw the footage and it's hard to believe he's even alive?
Yeah.
Brother got tapped, if that.
Like, they've built an entire, like, infrastructure of violence atop the fact that they can never admit that they do something wrong.
And people believe it.
And I'm stuck wondering, like, is there ever going to be a point where they're like, okay, sorry guys, we went too far? I don't think they can admit it.
No,
like,
never.
It's just not built into the ethos for them to be like, sorry guys, this one was too far, my bad, we'll chill out in the future.
Like, I gotta wonder, like, at some point, like, is shit gonna crack? Like, is the coalition going to crack? Are, like, senators going to start breaking? Are House members going to start breaking? Is the people that got Trump into power going to see this and look at the things and see that the evidence and see what's in front of them with the video and what Trump is saying don't fucking match at all in any reality, no matter how you slice it? Are they gonna break, or are we just gonna keep, like, doing this fascist backslide?
Yeah.
But that's just the first and admittedly, like, more outrageous part of that Truth Social tweet. The second half goes, "The situation is being studied in its entirety, but the reason these incidents are happening is because the radical left is threatening, assaulting, and targeting our law enforcement officers and ICE agents on a daily basis. They are just trying to do the job of making America safe. We need to stand by and protect our law enforcement officers from this radical left movement of violence and hate."
Guys, the Gestapo is just trying to do their job of beating the shit out of dissidents. Let them do it.
The brown shirts are just beating the shit out of you guys, but it's because you didn't agree with me. So
guys,
come on.
It's their job. Guys, like, just let them.
They're clocking into work just like you and me. What if somebody showed up to your work?
You're not going to let someone collect a paycheck? You're not going to let someone work?
What if somebody showed up to your work and told you that you weren't doing a good job? Told you what you were doing was bad? Imagine how that feels.
That'd be domestic terrorism. God, dude, it's so fucking stupid. We can never lose sight of the fact that these people are fucking stupid.
No, and I think that's like the big point, right?
Yes,
and
yes.
I've been kind of thinking about this, and this is sort of like a broader thing that I'm pulling back on. And I feel like we post like Kamala Harris losing the election, we had these big postmortems talking about how the right kind of owns the internet. The right kind of owns the cultural conversation. And a lot of that is because the right effectively, like post 2016, just made the left look stupid.
Yeah.
Everyone listening to this has seen that blue-haired woman.
Yeah.
Everyone knows what I'm talking about when I say that.
The crying lib.
Or the crying lib. She's been plastered over. They've been plastered over every single thumbnail for a decade, all the time. The right made liberals look stupid, and that's part of why they're winning. Mm-hmm. And I think that it's important that we kind of do the same.
Yeah, these people are fucking so dumb. Dude.
Because these people are actually dumb and dorks, and you don't have to like cherry pick to see that.
Yeah.
They're just doing it themselves. Look at anything J.D. Vance tweets.
Oh, yeah.
Look at the lies that Donald Trump says. Look at Kristi Noem, cosplay Kristi, running around in her different outfits with these fake cowboy hats. All of these
She did that again recently. She had a cowboy hat on.
All of these people are caricatures of evil. Mm-hmm. They're caricatures of themselves. They're Flanderizations of what you would think a Republican is.
Yeah.
And they're getting away with it, and that's not okay. Like we gotta take cool back and like just make people realize that these guys are lame.
They're so fucking lame.
They're so fucking lame, and they're evil. Secondary to the fact that they're lame.
Like pulling up in a cowboy hat, fucking not your natural fit, and then saying like, "Oh yeah, that was an instance of domestic terror."
Crazy.
What
are we talking about?
It's just crazy. I don't even know what to say about that.
No,
insane.
Exactly. And I'm not going to hang too much on just how the administration is lying because, again, they lie like they breathe. They lie all the time. It's kind of like, outside of particularly the egregious ones, it's boring to talk about how Trump lies.
Yeah.
But that's them kind of lying about the situation that we all saw, that we all watched multiple times from multiple different angles. I want to talk about, like, aside from the excuses they're giving for the ICE agent, some Republicans are just making fun of this woman that was killed by the state.
Yeah, I've seen
And
it.
by some Republicans, I mean Jesse Waters. Have you seen this?
I have not seen Jesse Waters, but I have seen people already making, like, soy jacks, essentially.
Oh yeah, the soy jacks have been in our comments already, and it's just like, whatever. There's a whole other thing about just like, if you die in a politicized matter, like, it's just like,
nobody cares.
Nobody fucking. There's no respect. Yeah. There's no decorum. Like you saw a little bit. There's still the Charlie Kirk memes. There's these memes, but it really all started with the George Floyd memes. Like, if you ask me, I feel like people stopped respecting, like, deaths that happened in a politicized fashion when George Floyd died.
Yeah.
When George Floyd died, oh my God, I still see the fucking George Floyd NFT meme pop up, like, in comment section sometimes whenever a liberal posts things.
Yeah, and
like,
I think it's because, like, when there's no argument against it, you just have to be like, haha, I don't care.
Yeah.
Because then, like, the argument's over at that point. It's just like, well, okay, you're evil.
Exactly. But it's like, people act like Charlie Kirk was, like, the big one that kind of broke the floodgates, and, like, how could people be so callous?
Way.
It was George Floyd. At least from the way that I see it, from me as an internet observer, George Floyd was the first one where it's like, oh, everybody just doesn't care about anything anymore. Okay. And that's just what we're going to see. So that's just kind of a fact of the internet. But besides from regular people making fun of this woman who died in a tragic way by the hands of the state, murdered by an ICE agent, we have Jesse Waters, who's going on Fox News and saying this.
The woman who lost her life was a self-proclaimed poet from Colorado with pronouns in her bio. A 37-year-old white woman named Renee Good. The Daily Mail says she leaves behind a lesbian partner and a child from a previous marriage. She was a disruptor, though she considered herself a legal observer. But there's no evidence she had a law degree.
Bro's doing a goddamn SNL monologue up there about a woman who was killed by an ICE agent.
Oh my God,
what are you doing, dude? That's like almost up there with Brian Kilmeade saying we should just kill homeless people. Like what are you getting up here being like, oh, this woman was killed? Yeah, she had she, her in her bio. One of those guys, huh? Am I right?
There's no other way to view that other than Jesse Waters doing state propaganda, trying to manufacture consent for the idea that the state should be able to execute people that they don't like.
And like, what gets me about it is he can't like come out and just make fun of her for dying like with his full chest.
Yeah.
He's being a little bitch about it.
No, he is.
And he's going around here and trying to be sly and trying to be like, no, I'm just stating the facts. But it's like, you're calling her a poet, like, embarrassing. And you're saying the she, her in her bio. You're saying she was a lesbian who had a kid with a man that she's not in the marriage anymore. You're hitting all the tropes that you know your audience is going to eat up and latch onto and make fun of this dead person for.
Yeah, and it's meant to act as a justification for what happened to her. Like, as if those things make it okay.
Well, because those things make you less of a person in the eyes of a right-winger, and if they make you less of a person, it's going to lessen the blow of the obviously violent and traumatic act that you just watched on your screen.
Yeah, shit's Jesus Christ, dog.
Yeah.
Jesse Waters never fails to disappoint.
No, and I still can't believe he took over the primetime slot for like Tucker Carlson.
From
like
Tucker,
say what you will about him, I don't like the guy at all, but like he knew the game.
Tucker Carlson's still putting up threes. Did you see what he said about Venezuela?
Oh, he tried to do like Maduro's cool, actually. Like, didn't he say like they're doing gay marriage now?
Yeah, no, he said that he was like, we didn't actually go in to get Maduro for the oil. We went in to get him because he doesn't allow gay marriage.
Oh my God.
Like, I did not expect an anti-woke defense of Nicolas Maduro.
Donald Trump went in to get Donald Trump's fucking Pete Hegseth and Marco Rubio went in to get Maduro because he didn't allow gay marriage. Donald Trump is too woke now. And dude, that's sick. That's the shit I'm talking about, though.
Yeah.
That's the shit that got Tucker Carlson on that primetime slot. And that's what had him locked down as like the highest viewed news programmer, whatever the fuck he was.
Yeah.
And this guy is what's replacing that?
You think Jesse Waters would have like any kind of media career if he got booted from Fox News?
No.
He'd be done. No one would pay attention to him anymore. Tucker Carlson's putting out takes like, we did a covert operation because we want Venezuela to do gay marriage.
Man,
like, what?
No, that's awesome. And it's like when Tucker Carlson got fired from Fox News, he went to Russia and he's like, look how cheap the groceries are. You remember that?
Yeah, he was impressed with the Aldi grocery cart.
He said, look at that. Wow. Oh my God, it's amazing.
Yeah.
Holy shit, man. Jesse Waters could never.
No one's putting him up like Tucker Carlson. Yeah, and the way he framed it was so funny. And he was like, you know, they're doing this because Venezuela doesn't allow gay marriage, but nobody's talking about that. was like, oh, no one's talking about the fact that vests don't have sleeves. Must be a conspiracy. Like, come on, man. It's awesome. No one's doing it like him. Nobody.
Exactly. Jesse Waters, you're a cheap imitation, if that.
Yeah.
You couldn't do it like him. Pack it up, retire. Your media career should be over. Any views that you get are because your audience is full of 80-year-olds who are sitting in the nursing home and you can't really think and just have the goddamn TV on.
Yeah.
Like that's the fucking people. It's just senile old people, maybe age 50 and up, who are watching your show and they just hate and they only ever have Fox News on.
Yeah.
Like you don't got it like that. Like don't get out here and try to act sly when you're like, if you're gonna make fun of somebody who was killed in a politicized manner in like an awful way, do it with your fucking chest.
Yeah.
Like there could at least be some amount of like respect there.
Yeah.
But you can't even do that. You're that much of a bitch about it.
And like Jesse Waters' best bit in like 3 years of being in that primetime slot is like having the secret anonymous guy from Antifa on.
Oh, so good.
And that's
that one is good.
And that's not good because he has sauce. Like that's the programmers that planned that. You know what I mean?
It's funny because it's Michael Rappaport every time, isn't it?
It's the same dude.
Like, didn't people say like he's got like the same eyebrow? He's got the same brow ridge as the Michael Rappaport?
Yeah.
And it's the same fucking guy clearly every time is like a different thing. Like he was the ex-Antifa dude at one point. Wasn't he like a Hamas guy too?
Yeah, it was like a couple of different guys.
Dude, that's that's a good bit. But yeah, that wasn't him.
It's not him. No, it's his producers that do that.
Exactly.
Like it's not Jesse Waters putting up threes like Tucker Carlson.
Yeah, no, Jesse Waters, you fucking suck like hugely.
Yeah.
But that's that. I had to share that. I saw that and I was gobstopped.
Yeah, that's crazy.
It stopped me in my tracks when I was scrolling. And I mean, that's the goal of every content creator is to stop you in your tracks while you're scrolling.
Stop the scroll.
But like, holy shit, man. So I had to share that with you all. But on the bright side, I do want to highlight Minneapolis Mayor Jacob Frey because I think his comments at the press conference afterward were exactly what is needed in the moment. Mm-hmm. He got on there. He said what Trump and Kristi Noem said was bullshit. His words, not mine, even though they are also my words. But that's a quote from him. And then he also said a quote that ICE needs to, quote, get the fuck out of Minneapolis.
Type shit, brother.
That's the kind of energy that Democrats need to have when we're dealing with Trump, when we're dealing with what's going on here, when we're dealing with something that is plainly and obviously evil and wrong and bad.
Yeah.
We don't need to do this like a pussyfooting around things, talk about the training and only the training like Elissa Slotkin did, talk about moderation. It is okay and it is right to be outraged when something outrageous happens.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I will say, just to throw a little bit of cold water on this, Jacob Frey is the guy that sort of invited the, greater scrutiny on the Somali population with like all the fraud stuff. Like he sort of opened the door for that when he was running against Omar Fateh.
Oh, that sucks.
So like it's kind of, Democrat concession moment. You know
critical
what I mean?
support to Jacob Frey. Critical support to Jacob Frey. Critical support to the rhetoric that we're seeing right in that moment in that one instance.
Like it's good to see this rhetoric. I wish it could be Omar Fateh making that doing that rhetoric from the standpoint of mayor. But
Very true.
Look, we're in the shit now. Whatever.
But there is something funny to be said about like how like we have Democrats really like everywhere. There are pockets of Democrats who are willing to get out here and like meet the moment with rhetoric sometimes, yet still leadership is failing to pick it up.
Yeah.
Yet still Hakeem Jeffries and Chuck Schumer are just out here like, oh, decorum.
Yeah, no, I'm sure they've said something.
I didn't bother to look it up. Maybe
but
they've surprised me. Please correct me if I'm wrong. Please correct me if they've come out here and they've said something really good, but I just honestly doubt it. I have zero faith in those people.
It just like doesn't matter too much when you've spent no time actually working against the immigration raids and all the other bad shit that ICE has done up until this point,
and like,
which was entirely predictable, by the way.
And when you're like Chuck Schumer, you're kind of responsible for allowing ICE to be funded to the point where they got more money than the IDF by not shutting down the government originally when the Big Beautiful Bill happened.
Yeah.
Like, there's a whole lot of culpability that like a lot of these people share in that moment.
And
as
we've done essentially none of the rhetorical work to like, I don't know, convince people that immigrants are actually good and that we don't need a modern day Gestapo to go after them for no fucking reason.
Yeah.
Like that rhetoric is essentially non-existent from the Democratic Party until now, with maybe Jacob Frey saying like, this is bullshit, get the fuck out of my city.
Well, it's like the rhetoric is starting now with people like, well, there have been people who have been on this wave. Don't get me wrong. There have been progressives that have been on the Abolish ICE wave, but it hasn't been like a mainstream Democrat thing, and it really does. And I mean, shout out to Graham Plattner, most guy ever, Graham Plattner, goofball Graham Plattner, because he's been on the timeline on Twitter talking about how Abolish ICE should be the moderate position.
Yeah,
and that's shit that we've been saying for a couple months.
Yeah.
But I respect seeing someone that's trying to run for Senate going out there and saying that and running it. Abdul has also been on that train for a while too.
Yeah.
Shout out my guy. We got in the Michigan Senate race, we have Abolish ICE, Abdul El Sayed against Haley voted on a resolution to thank ICE for what they're doing, Stevens.
Yeah. Haley Stevens, current member of Congress from Michigan, also running for Senate for Michigan, was one of 75 Democrats to vote for a piece of legislation last year that expressed gratitude for ICE. And I would just like to know if she has any compunction about signing on to that resolution now that ICE has literally fucking executed somebody.
Please, Haley, let me know. Please let me know if you would walk any of that back. Please let me know if you'd walk back any of the support for any of the bullshit that you've done when it's been so obviously like evil and wrong. Haley Stevens is out, guys. Haley Stevens is out. It's got to be Abdul. Abdul's the guy. And I'm sure Mallory said something like milquetoast about it, but it's like Abdul has been on this wave forever.
Yeah.
He's actually about it.
Like, I can't fathom signing on to a resolution with 75 other Democrats to be like, yeah, ICE is cool in this moment.
And that was after they started doing all the bad stuff.
Yeah, it was last summer.
Yeah.
It was last summer.
It was right around LA.
I would just like, I mean, I don't know. You could come out now and be like, I regret signing on to that resolution because it was, it's bad, especially in the context of them literally executing somebody in broad fucking daylight. And then Kristi Noem calling her a domestic terrorist.
At the point where it's been the most bad that it has been, kind of, is when you say like, oh, I regret doing that. Yeah, that's one thing. But like, I'd rather fuck with people who are principled in the first place, because ICE was doing awful things when it was happening when she signed on to that as well.
Yeah, no, like, of course, like, it wasn't justifiable at that point. But if you ever needed like a justification or cover for coming out and saying like, yeah, now I want to change course, this would be it.
It's a perfect opportunity to do
an American citizen has been killed by immigration enforcement. Now would be the time to pivot, and you have the perfect cover to do so. I have a feeling she won't.
No, I have a feeling she won't. Or if she does, it'll be cynical and it'll be sauceless, because everything Haley Stevens does is cynical and sauceless.
We need to send a counterbalance to the Senate to work against Elissa Slotkin.
Absolutely.
And Haley Stevens is just Elissa Slotkin, but probably worse.
Oh, 100%. Yeah, just unashamedly Elissa Slotkin. Haley Stevens like won her race against Andy Levin, member of the Progressive Caucus.
Yeah.
Because she got like $1 trillion in AIPAC funding back when that was happening a couple years ago.
In 2022, yeah.
Yeah, actually absurd. Actually absurd. But that's like some of the response that's going on. But I do want to talk about like the broader problem that we've been not even alluding to, but saying flat out. But that is like ICE itself.
Yep.
This doesn't happen without ICE being here. And I want to say that like ICE is bringing violence to these communities, not immigrants. Wherever ICE goes, violence is followed, and that's been by design. ICE agents are losers who are being paid out the wazoo to make a show out of violently ripping people from Home Depot parking lots, day laborers from Home Depot parking lots, violently ripping abuelas out of their home who have been here for 20 years and never done anything wrong, and now going and killing a mother in Minneapolis for trying to run away.
Yeah.
That's absurd.
It's all a part of the fucking fascist dogma. Like, the American empire is fucking spiraling. The Trump administration has no actual agenda for improving the lives of people materially. So what do? They brutalize people here, and they brutalize people abroad. It's the only agenda item they have is like ethnic cleansing. And that just sucks, and it results in shit like this, where eventually American citizens get shot too. Like, the Trump administration is grabbing you by both of your shoulders and shaking you and saying, don't you understand it yet? We will victimize you as well.
Yeah.
Like, you might be cool with us going and like killing a bunch of people in Venezuela, but we have no hesitation about doing it to you as well. And we will justify it, and we will call you a domestic terrorist after you have died. Body still warm. We will lie on your dead body.
And what situations like this reveal in the most visceral way possible is that no one is safe when ICE enters your community.
Yeah.
No one is safe from the violence that ICE will bring. It's awful. It's Abolish ICE, and it always will be Abolish ICE. This people suck. This organization sucks.
Yeah.
And the fact that it has more money than the IDF should be alarming when this is what it's running around and doing.
Yeah, and like, you know, I don't like I told you so politics, but it feels important to note that we have been saying that this was always what it was going to look like. ICE operations were always going to look like this from the day that they had mass deportation now signs up at the Republican National Convention. Because if you want to do mass deportation, especially on like the false pretense that there's this wave of immigrant crime, it's gonna eventually look like American citizens getting fucking executed. Because like, that's what the operation demands. This shit was always going to happen.
And importantly, ICE is not getting criminals. Like I said before, they're taking people out of their homes that have been here for 20 years and not done any crimes. They're taking people out of their immigration hearings. They're taking people outside of immigration offices who are showing up for their yearly meetings. They're taking people out of parking lots who are just trying to get honest work done. They are not going after criminals, and that's bared out in the statistics. Whatever percent of like, what is
70%.
it, like 70% of people detained by ICE, no criminal record whatsoever. They're just grabbing the easy people off the street, and they're doing it in the most violent way possible to appease guys like Stephen Miller who get off to it.
And to give a bunch of money to private prison companies who are the groups that run all of these ICE detention facilities. Like, they built a literal concentration camp in Florida. I know it's gone now because I don't know what fucking reason it got shut down for.
Yeah, it's gone, and all the detainees are gone and lost.
They built a fucking concentration camp, and they called it Alligator Alcatraz, and they celebrated the violence because all this administration has is violence, and that violence, even if you're a citizen, will extend to you if you're in the wrong place at the wrong time.
Didn't they just reopen like the old private prison in Baldwin here in Michigan?
Yeah, they
That's
did.
now an ICE detention center. Yeah, it's like, what are we doing, dude? This is fucked up. This is wrong. This is bad. This isn't doing what it's supposed to be doing. And the pretext that got us to the point where ICE is running around and doing this was also just a lie.
Yeah.
Every step of this has been seeped in just lies that are violent to do violence for the sake of violence.
Yeah.
It's so fucking bad. Immigrants come over here and they commit crimes on a rate less than natural born U.S. citizens.
True.
And that's the fucking truth. And that's why Democrats like Elissa Slotkin, or Democrats in general that go and do all this conceding about the border, are fucking bullshit and also complicit in what happens here.
Yeah.
Complicit in getting us to this point.
Yeah, I mean, think like they lied about Haitians eating cats and dogs in Springfield, Ohio. They lie about Venezuelan migrants being a part of Tren de Aragua. They lie about Somali migrants committing this massive amount of fraud, or even not even Somali migrants, just people of Somali descent that are citizens here.
Slop tubers go out with the backing of Donald Trump and lie about Somalis running daycare stamps that were really run by white women.
Yeah, and so when they're lying this much and when they're giving this much money to enforcement operations, violent enforcement operations, obviously they're going to do violence. What's the point of essentially militarizing ICE, giving them like $150 billion as a yearly budget if you're not going to use them to hurt people? That's the point.
And once again, I will remind us all about that. I believe it was a +1 article that we read a couple months ago about the kind of guy that joins ICE. This reporter went to an DHS recruiting fair, interviewed people who wanted to be ICE agents, and the conclusion was these guys, they said themselves, they just want to go on vacation. They want to go be a deportation officer so they can see cool places on the deportation plane. These people want to go on vacation.
Yeah,
and that's why they're doing this, and that's why we're here.
Man, I'm never gonna forget the guy that was literally just said like, yeah, I'm trying to bring the war home.
No, yeah, there was the ex-military guy who's like, I learned all these skills. Why can't I don't have anywhere else to use them.
I want to bring the war home.
Like, yeah, this is going exactly how anybody would have predicted it going.
Exactly, yeah.
And that's the situation that we're in, and that's where we're at here in Minneapolis, and shit sucks bigly, and that's what we got.
Yeah, before we move on though to Venezuela, we have to read this JD Vance quote, man. Okay. It's fantastic.
JD Vance tweet.
JD Vance tweet saying that like she had it coming or some dumb shit.
Was that the tweet that started with, "This is preposterous"?
It might have been. This one's much shorter, but it gets at the same point that I wanted to get at. So how about we just like read this quote? JD Vance, man, he's special.
Here's the quote from JD Vance on Twitter. Quote, "I want every ICE officer to know that their president, vice president, and the entire administration stands behind them. To the radicals assaulting them, doxing them, and threatening them, congratulations. We're going to work even harder to enforce the law." God, the most soy right thing ever. He's such a fucking dork.
He's such a fucking cornball, dude. JD Vance's mom, the most vindicated woman in human history, selling this fucking loser for a perk. Oh my God, dude.
He's just a dork. And the other tweet, he literally started off saying, "This is preposterous." Brother, who are you? Yeah. This is preposterous. What are we talking about? You're the goddamn vice president. Like, go and do the fake job thing. Go and meet with like some low-level foreign dignitary and pretend to work. Like, stop doing whatever this is, because not only is it contributing to actual genuine harm by helping to like manufacture consent with whoever he's influencing, but it's also just like making you look like a dork.
It makes him look like a dork, and I think my life mission is to make sure this guy never becomes president.
No, and like he can't.
Jesus Christ, man.
The more he opens his mouth, the more he tweets, the more I think that it can't happen. Like 2028, JD Vance can't be the guy, and there's got to be some awkward conversations within the GOP when those nominations are up.
Well, he's left out of like everything. Like he's not included. Like Kristi Noem's the one who handles all the DHS stuff. Like he's not involved in any of the immigration things. All the war stuff is handled by like Hegseth, Rubio, and like Trump himself. JD Vance is like excluded from all of this
Scott
all the time.
Besson does the tariff bullshit.
Yeah.
Well, or Scott Besson and Nutlick do the tariff bullshit.
Like at least Joe Biden gave Kamala Harris the fake job of like fixing the border or whatever.
Yeah, she was border czar. And now we got Tom Homan.
She had some like busy work that they would eventually blame her for not actually finishing. JD Vance has nothing. He doesn't do anything.
That's just, it's so funny how like every other prominent administration official has like a better claim to like the throne Trump will abdicate when he's gone than JD Vance does.
Like we'd sooner see President Hegseth than fucking President Vance.
The only chance JD Vance has at being president is if something happens to Trump so that he can't finish out his presidency.
And I think that's what he's banking on. Like, I think that's the plan, actually.
That's it, dude. This guy, he's like, I don't want to say he has as little charisma as Ron DeSantis, but like, it's in a different way. Like, he's got no charisma. Ron DeSantis was like awkward, no personality, needed a charisma transplant. JD Vance just says the wrong thing.
Well, JD Vance has had multiple charisma transplants. Like, he's had multiple different personalities across the span of like 15 years or so.
That's true.
But I guess maybe he's just stuck. Like, he's hit the bottom and he can't transform himself anymore.
I think it's like what we talked about earlier, how like all these people are flanderized versions of like their former Republican selves. JD Vance, he's just an Ouroboros of just performative normalcy.
He's hit the upper limit. He can't go any further.
He's performing normalcy so much that he forgets what normal looks like, and he's trying to perform a perverse version of normalcy. And he just keeps going and going and going and going. And eventually we're going to reach a rate that I can't recognize anymore.
We're going to hit a JD Vance singularity. He's like an AI training off of himself, then training off of himself on and on and on until he just doesn't make sense anymore.
Exactly. It's the AI images that generate off of each other, and eventually the fingers don't add up.
Man. There is a poverty of compelling, quality political commentary.
Absolutely.
And we desperately need more people across mediums to be making the difference. And that is exactly why we have launched our Substack, our newsletter, Tertiary News, 100% independent media, giving you quality summaries and commentary and opinion pieces on the most important news happening around the country and around the world.
The #1 geopolitical podcast has gone away from the spoken word and into the written word. And it's wonderful. You got to see it, folks. You got to check it out.
This is quite literally an incredible development. And if you want to be a part of it, you can subscribe absolutely for free. headintheoffice.substack.com, and you can support your favorite bit of independent media in this hellish ecosystem.
We are vertically integrating into other realms of content to make you more informed.
Please check it out. Back to the episode.
Yeah, man. At the end of the day, it's just the Minneapolis or the Minnesota AG's got to do something. There's got to at least like be charges pressed, even if you don't win, even if you think it's a futile effort because maybe someone in the administration is trying to obstruct justice in some way, shape, or form, trying to hide evidence, trying to hide things from you. Whatever they're gonna try to do to get their guy off, you got to at least try. You got to at least make it public because if you care that ICE is doing something that's wrong, if you care and if you believe rightfully that ICE are running around like the Gestapo with impunity, these mass agents in unmarked cars going and kidnapping people off the streets, you gotta do something. You gotta at least try to use existing systems, and if they break down, let them break down and let those consequences flow.
Yeah, like please just don't just concede here.
Don't just concede.
Like this guy just killed someone in your state, man.
The momentum is there. Like people are outraged about this. You have to bring charges. You can't just roll over here. And like the law doesn't really matter to the Trump administration. First to admit that. I feel silly even bringing it up. But I do respect the try. Because when you try, you keep it in the news, you keep it in the public consciousness, and you remind people why this is a bad thing.
Yeah. I mean, at some point, we got to show that they do have a weakness.
Yes.
Like, they can't just get away with literally anything. You got to try. Anyways, is it time to...
Speaking of them getting away with literally anything.
I was going to say, is it time to move on to dumb guy imperialism?
I think so.
It's time to... just a quick update on Venezuela. Again, we thought this would be the whole show today, but it's just like, who cares that we invaded a foreign country and took their leader? Like, it doesn't matter, really.
It's so funny, man. It's so fucking funny because it's like, I don't know if you have this in here, but it's like the further we get from it actually happening, the closer I am to thinking like maybe this is just like a one and done thing.
That was my thought.
Maybe this is just like when he popped off the tariffs initially and he's just quietly backed off.
That's what I'm saying. Like the most comparable intervention is what we did to Iran. Like perfectly useless, meant absolutely nothing, and
didn't
Trump
even
flexed.
get the right thing, didn't do the stated goal.
Like,
and then we flexed it like it was a massive dub.
Yeah, like when we said like, oh, we definitely hit their nuclear facilities, then it came out that we in fact did not, and we just set them back a couple of months. Caroline Leavitt was like, whoever leaked that report is a low-level loser. And then we moved on.
Yeah, then we just moved on.
Like, I think it might be the same shit. Like, we got Maduro, Trump got his flick. He's glad to see him, like, getting perp walked by less guys than Luigi Mangione. And now it's over. Nobody cares. We'll move on to the government shutdown soon.
Exactly. And it's like, obviously, there's more to it than that. Like, there are material things that are going to happen, but it's just like, everything sucks.
Yeah. The material things happening are us destabilizing, and maybe we made Venezuela and ISIS. I don't know. But since we recorded on Monday, the situation has, as we said, remained much the same. Things are tense between Venezuela and the United States. Maduro has been officially charged in an American court. I will say the number of fits this dude brought with him astonishing.
No, that's crazy. Like I gotta wonder, like, did they let him like pick some things out of his closet, or did they just have clothes aboard? Like, were those service members' clothes that they put on him?
Yeah.
Was he arrested in the Nike Tech, or did they put him in the Nike Tech?
I don't know, man. Dude's like 6'4", 350. He's enormous.
Are you serious?
Yeah, Maduro's big. Like, he's a big guy.
He should have played basketball.
Well, he should have played pro baller instead of being a dictator.
Exactly.
But fuck it,
would have
whatever.
been way better. He could have made like just as much money.
Yeah, we were gonna have us pull up to this recording into identical.
We should have had gray
Techs.
Nike Tech fleeces.
Not as like a symbol of
solidarity, but a symbol of that shit's funny.
That shit's funny, and it'd be a funny bit. It'd be a funny bit, but we don't have the money to go buy Nike Techs.
And they sold out.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh,
I saw
awesome.
one graphic that said at one point in time after Maduro's captured, Nike Tech fleeces were like sold out of the Nike website.
Like it is a really funny bit to like abduct a foreign leader. Then he comes up into the United States. He's being brought into court-martialed, and he just like dripped the hell out.
Because it's like the pic goes hard.
Yeah.
Like the pic, Maduro, awful, fucking horrible guy. But like the pic of him in the blindfold Nike Tech with like the water bottle in his hands, like it goes kind of crazy just as a photograph, as a piece of art.
Like, yeah, he was just chilling in his palace in Caracas, and he just had a Nike Tech on, and then they abducted him. Like, he put that shit on. I can't say he didn't. Anyways, he's been charged in court. The way forward seems obviously unclear. No real clarification on what "we will run the country" means, just as when we talked about it on Monday. In a quote on that from the New York Times, quote, President Trump said on Wednesday evening that he expected the United States would be running Venezuela and extracting oil from its huge reserves for years, and insisted that the interim government of the country, all former loyalists to the now imprisoned Nicolas Maduro, is, quote, giving us everything we feel necessary. I don't know how true that is. I think
probably not.
It might just be like an assertion.
Yeah, no, if Trump's saying, oh, they're giving us everything, it's a complete and total victory, it wasn't. We're probably getting like maybe one thing.
Yeah.
And he's just claiming that because nothing in this guy's mind is anything but complete and total victory.
Yeah, I can't help but feel like there's no plan.
Oh,
like,
absolutely
I don't
not.
think there's a plan here.
No. And I mean, Marco Rubio, there was like the senators or the House Congress was briefed on this by Marco Rubio the other day. And senators came out being like, I don't know what the fuck is going on.
Yeah. And
Marco
Elissa
Rubio
Slotkin was like, I'm really impressed.
Are you? Dude, I hate her. She's actually like,
to her credit, she did say that it doesn't seem like they have much of a plan for like the permanent occupation and the oil and shit like that.
Okay, but she was impressed with the operation.
She was impressed. Well, yeah, because we don't support the war, but we support the warriors, of course, because they're very cool and impressive, even though the war is carried out by the warriors, whatever.
Well, if you think about it, as if it was like an action movie, it was exciting to watch. Yes.
Yeah.
If you
So needless to say, it doesn't seem like they really have a plan. Trump has elsewhere demanded 100% access to the oil. He said they're working on a deal to control all of the oil. We even seized an oil tanker either from Russia or bound for Russia or something like that off the coast of Venezuela. Lots of crazy shit happening.
JD Vance was also like asked about this on an interview, or in a tweet, and he tweeted out or said, he was asked like, what was it? It was like, what does the American people get from this? And he's like, well, we get in Venezuela's natural resources. Brother.
First is tragedy, man. That is farce. It's so stupid. If the interim government's actually cooperating, like I said, or if it's all just like a performance, I have no idea. Obviously, information out of Venezuela is very hard to come by, but there's been some stories of like crackdowns on anti-Maduro demonstrators or people that like celebrated afterwards. So sort of hard to believe that the government would both be cooperating with Trump and cracking down on its own population.
Yeah.
That is like in support of what Trump did. I don't know what the fuck is going on. Again, hard to know what's happening actually in Venezuela. Trump's reiterated that there's going to be no elections in Venezuela. He's obviously been quiet about supporting the opposition. Again, if this was a regime change, there wasn't a regime change.
Yeah, if there's a regime change, it's just a regime discount. I don't know. Like
it's the same regime.
It's the regime,
yeah.
Man. It's just you're minus one guy, one figurehead. Mm-hmm. You didn't do any of the mucking up the bureaucracy that would actually stop the regime from running. You just took one guy.
And then, and killed like 100 Venezuelans.
And killed 100 Venezuelans and like 30 Cubans.
Yeah, because that was the next thing I had in here was that inside Venezuela, the remaining Maduro officials, that is to say all of them, have said that the total death count is up to 100 because of the U.S. mission, and a similar amount have been injured, and Cuba claimed that 32 of its own citizens died in the attack. That brings the death toll up to like, 250 when you add the boat stuff in? We've just been
I forgot about the boat stuff.
Wantonly killing people for a while, and this strike was pretty disastrous. I mean, like 100 people dying is crazy.
Man, 2026 has been a week, but it's been a year.
Yeah.
Like it is January 8th right now.
I'm saying.
And it feels like a year's worth of news has already happened.
2025, bad, but it feels like they really just put their foot on the gas here.
2025 is feeling like, okay, this was the perfect time to do 2 episodes a week because we'd be recording for 4 hours if we had to fit all this in. And I'm starting to think 2026 is just up in the pace even more, where it's like, how can I fit all this into 2-hour episodes every week?
Yeah.
Like, if things continue at this pace, it's over, man.
Yeah, the HITO episodes are going to have to be exponential.
HITO's just going to have to be Hassan at that point, man.
Yeah.
I don't know how else you keep up with the goddamn news.
Man, only if we can make Hassan money, you know what I'm saying?
Dude, buy a house of cash.
In terms of the crackdowns, New York Times reports, quote, over the past several days, security forces have interrogated people at checkpoints, boarded public buses, and searched passengers' phones, looking for evidence that they approved of Mr. Maduro's removal. According to Venezuelans in the country and human rights groups, at least 14 journalists and 6 citizens were detained. Most of them have been released. Again, Western outlet reporting on Venezuela. Who knows how true all this information is? But if it is true, most predictable thing ever.
Yeah.
Like, obviously.
Yeah.
Like, we didn't do anything to change the regime. The regime's still very much in place. We've been calling them like a oppressive regime for a while. Of course, they're just going to do this after we like take their leader.
It still is so crazy to me how much like the opposition party leader was just like silenced.
Yeah.
Was just like told to, hey, shut up. It's not you right now. Like, we're doing this.
Oh, the woman, Marina Machado or whatever?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's hilarious. After she dedicated her Nobel Peace Prize to Trump, after she like sold out her countrymen, Trump was just like, nah, like she doesn't have the support.
He's like, no, it's just not.
And he's right.
Whatever.
She probably doesn't.
And neither does anyone that's running the government right now. Nobody's got any support.
Yeah. Now, you might be wondering, okay, this is all pretty bad. Where my opposition party at?
Where my opposition party at?
This is a 2-party state.
Yep.
We have more than one party in government. Surely my opposition party is doing something. And I come with a little bit of good news. They're trying.
We're trying.
They're trying a little bit.
Okay.
House Democrats are planning a similar war powers resolution on Venezuela to the one that failed last year with a slim margin. I guess they're hoping to peel off some Republicans. No official plans on that yet. But the Senate today advanced a measure to require congressional approval of all military action in or against Venezuela before it's conducted. To me, it's like, isn't this already what's required?
No, yeah, isn't that what's required? And also, why is it just Venezuela when he's like, we're going to knock off Colombia and Cuba and this place and Greenland too?
There's one for Greenland also that's being proposed, I think, by Ruben Gallego.
Why can't we just like say in general?
Yeah, you would think.
Why can't we just say, hey, if you're gonna like, hey, stop. If you're gonna go like kill people, tell us or like let us tell you first if you can do that or not.
Yeah.
Like, why don't we take some of that power back a little bit? Why continue to like specify instance by instance and still give him this like broad power? I feel like if you offer this resolution up just only in the instances of Venezuela and Greenland, you're kind of implicitly acknowledging that he can just like do it in Colombia and Cuba or wherever else he wants to, and they will do it in Colombia and Cuba or wherever else he wants to, because that's all they've been talking about.
Yeah, I mean, I guess at least they're trying something, even though like a war powers resolution, those are always funny to me because it's just like Congress reasserting that like, hey, this is how things work. Yeah, like it's already supposed to work that way, you know?
Without holding anyone accountable for like violating the previous one.
But at least they are trying. The one for Venezuela passed the Senate or advanced in the Senate, full vote next week, 52-47. Your usual suspects on the Republican side switching up, Rand Paul, Lisa Murkowski, and so on. Who knows if this will pass?
Yeah, I don't understand why they can't just like advance this out of committee or whatever it was and then just vote on it.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know why we got to wait a week when next week like the world order could be changed.
Yeah, well, it literally could if he invades Greenland, a NATO ally.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I don't know. Like, it seems like things are popping off at a rate that's like, why are we waiting a week before these votes?
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't know. I feel like your mind's already made up whether or not you're going to vote yes or no on this. How about you just go to work?
Yep.
And vote.
Well, because they don't work on Fridays.
Okay.
I don't think they work on Mondays.
That's true. And they don't work like in August too. Can't forget that one. And they also don't work between like for 3 weeks in December.
Yeah.
And who knows if there's probably a random week in January they got off.
Yep. So we got to wait until next week. And by next week, who knows what will fucking happen.
By next week, whatever.
I don't know. You would think that like Trump, like without any approval, attacking a foreign nation would be like, I don't know, reason to have emergency sessions. Yeah. Not for my Democrats.
Though. No, not for my Democrats. That's only for like dumb shit. I don't know, man. It's just like you hear about them having these fights in the Senate, having these like votes that go to like 2 a.m. Why don't we like do that more, I guess. Like when things are important and when things are actively happening, when actively popping off, actively in the public conscience, like these people are just... Everyone doesn't want to work. Everyone's allergic to work, and everyone's telling me to work harder, and it doesn't make any sense.
It's not fair, man. It's not fair. Broadly, though, the lack of response to what Trump has done is obviously bad. It just feels like appeasement. And as we know historically, that shit doesn't work.
Yeah.
You can't just be like, yeah, it's fine. We'll let him take this because like that'll calm him down. No, the expansionist desire is going to continue. And of course, it's not just Democrats. Some Democrats are trying to do some stuff. A lot of them are being quiet. But it's also like every European country. And honestly, just every other country that's not saying like, hey, this shit sucks. Because like Europe, if anyone can do something, it's Europe that could come in, unanimously denounce this. But we can't even get like labor prime ministers or labor ministers or people in other countries to be like, yeah, he shouldn't have attacked Venezuela.
Well, Euro cucks down $1 trillion.
Yes.
It's always just infinitely, we won that war, and boy, did we win it.
Yeah, no, we won it bigly. They don't say anything against us ever.
Ever. We could do literally anything, and they just let us do it, and that's part of the problem.
Yes.
It's a big part of the problem. We got world leaders that won't hold Republicans accountable, and we got Democrats that won't hold Republicans accountable. And I gotta say, because this Elissa Slotkin, like, whole, like, praise for the operation, but not for, like, what the operation's actually about.
It's just like a rock, man.
It makes me think of John Fetterman praising the pager operation. Of course, he thought that was like cool on principle, but it's like to go out here and like praise the pager operation that where Netanyahu had the pagers that were going around. I'm sure you're all familiar, and they ended up killing a bunch of like, was it Hezbollah guys?
I think so, yeah.
Hezbollah guys in Lebanon, and also like a kid in a grocery store, like injured a bunch of like random civilians because it was just demonstrably just something that's not a good idea.
Well, it wouldn't be an Israeli op if they didn't kill a kid. You know what I mean?
So true.
Yeah.
How could I forget?
Exactly.
But it's like praising that kind of feels like praising this. You know what I mean? It's like we're just like so obsessed with the military and the military running like efficiently that we're letting it get in front of what the military is actually doing and the goals and what's spawning this and what's going to happen because of it.
I can't believe like Elissa Slotkin comes out here and says, the military operation was really cool because she just made that video saying like, hey, you have to refuse illegal orders.
Oh yeah, that shit was like illegal.
Like all of this shit was illegal. You just had that whole controversy that like Pete Hegseth is trying to go after you for it, even though he really can't because she was CIA, not military. But like, the point
he's
is
going after Mark Kelly for it.
Exactly. But like the point is that you just had this whole controversy. The first time like you've ever stood on business for literally anything. And you're still on this bullshit that's like, actually, I'm really impressed with our service members. Well, like they just did like violated the Nuremberg shit.
But that doesn't matter because like these people don't like. Once again, like international for like last week I said the thing about like international law, and I remember international law, and I remember that I kind of like it was on the forefront of my mind because of a Matt Walsh tweet. Mm-hmm. And I don't get a lot of my political theory from Matt Walsh, but like it was a very much a broken clocks moment. He made this tweet. He started off first sentence, "I'm not an interventionist. I'm against intervention," and then wrote a fucking book about why what we did in Venezuela is actually like cool and awesome. Yeah. And at one point, I think he said international law is fake and gay because
he
like
did say that.
I think that was the quote. International law is fake and gay, and like fuck, maybe it is, dude. Obviously not the gay part, but the fake part for sure.
Well, I mean, all law is fake. Like we invent all of it.
Exactly. Like we invent law, and it's like there's even less people to enforce international law, and it's like if you just let the United States go do this, of course the people that were born and bred to be CIA agents and came up in that are not going to respect anything, not going to actually give a shit. When they made that video, we called it the biggest virtue signal ever, didn't we?
Yeah, because it was.
It was like because part of what was insane about Trump's "we should literally kill Elissa Slotkin" thing, his words, not mine.
Yeah,
was that it was an overreaction to something that they obviously don't mean.
Yeah, they're not going to do anything about. They will not stand on business. Like international law. Important, good idea.
Good idea.
I think there should be norms that guide the behavior of countries, especially powerful countries. I think
we should aspire to
around the world. Like I am in favor of that, but it doesn't mean anything really without like the ability to enforce it. And like I feel like low key, it's only ever used against like African warlords or like one time at Nuremberg.
Yeah.
Like when else is like a powerful country, which like national law is most important for when it applies to like powerful individuals, powerful countries. When has it ever like done something good?
Well,
it was late to Rwanda.
It's funny because like the powerful countries that like international law is supposed to hold like the most to account get a veto.
Yeah, exactly.
They literally get to go to the UN Security Council and veto whatever.
Yeah.
So who knows?
like all law is fake, right? In the sense that we're trying to get away from like the law of the jungle, right? Might makes right. The strong get to survive, and the weak have to just like serve the strong. The rule of law is an attempt to get away from that, and instead say no. We're going to apply some standards that all of us have to adhere to, regardless of how like physically strong or militarily strong we are. That's the idea.
Yeah.
Of course, it's never worked that well in reality, and international law even less so, because all of like the international institutions were designed by us to benefit us.
Yeah.
And now we're in a position where like the domestic economy and the domestic social situation is falling apart. People are very upset with where we are, and the fascists in power need something to blame, and they can't blame capital because they are all servants of capital or themselves capitalists, so they have to blame a nefarious other and rail against the institutions that are so clearly designed to benefit us.
And it's also like international law, like it's if international law and we can't come up with a body that can hold like nations to account for violating things that we all come together as a planet and a species to recognize that are bad, if we can't do that by diplomacy, the only other way to hold another nation to account for doing something awful is like war.
Yeah.
It's force and whatnot. And I think Trump is putting us in a position where we're more likely to go to war with a bunch of different people, whether it be Iran, China, or Russia, or anybody else. This week, he also pulled out of like 66 different like international treaties at the UN. He just pulled out of this like bedrock climate treaty because he's like, it's not good for the US. Motherfucker, like, you're isolating us.
Yeah.
All he's doing is just isolating us from everyone else in the world because people came up to think that like globalism was bad because of anti-Semitic conspiracy theories.
Yeah, exactly.
Motherfucker, that shit keeps me safe.
Well, and it's like you can't be like anti-globalist and anti-global capital and pro-America.
Yeah.
Like, pick a side, dog. Like, the entire system of global capitalism was designed by us post World War II. Like, that's our shit, man. Like the World Bank, the IMF, the UN, it's all ours. You can't be like, oh, global capital runs the world and that's bad, but I'm pro-America. Brother, which one?
Which one? Precisely, like, which fucking one? Like, it's just, the MAGA ideology is just fucking suicide.
It's so stupid.
It's just this goddamn suicide pact just to, like, what?
Yeah.
Get one over on brown people?
Built off like vibes and aesthetics. Yeah, like it's all. I mean, that is reactionary politics.
That's
right?
fashion.
Like,
yeah.
That's all it is.
So that's awesome. Like I love what's going on right now.
Yeah.
There's things that happen in the news that I'm like, yes, all the time, and it just makes me so happy to open up my phone.
Yeah. There's another Hitler thing to happen this week. To end off the episode, and there's not even like a show notes here, it's just the headline. Trump has called for a $1.5 trillion military budget.
We were playing D&D last night. We go on our break. I'm like, let me check my phone.
Yeah.
Because, I open my phone to see things I love all the time. I'm inundated with goddamn Trump says $1.5 million military budget. We're actively antagonizing everyone around us. Everyone abroad, everyone in the goddamn world. We're bullying with tariffs, or we're literally doing military intervention against, escalating military tensions with. We're pulling out of international treaties. We're disrespecting everyone everywhere. And now we want to up our military budget from, I believe, $900 billion to $1.5 trillion.
Yeah, let's militarize further. Something that countries that want peace always do.
What the fuck are we? What the fuck are we doing? Everyone's Hitler, dude. This is just Hitler. That's just Hitler. Like, I'm sorry.
Yeah, and like Trump's brown shirts just executed a U.S. citizen. Like, yeah, let's militarize further. Sure. Why
and then
not?
He said, let's have the dream military. For what? We already have the dream military.
Biggest military ever.
Ever. And it's bigger than like what, the next 6 countries combined?
We have like 800 military bases around the world. You know how many countries have a military base in the U.S.?
Yeah.
None.
And it's like, you know what motherfuckers are going to do with, what is it, $600 extra billion in the military budget? Herman Miller chair.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like Herman Miller chair. It's like, it's going to be a bunch of bullshit. Like it's going to be goddamn contractors getting rich selling you bolts for $200 a piece, or it's just going to be more innovative ways to like kill people. And it's like, I don't want to be killing people.
Yeah.
I don't know who we're going to kill. I don't know what we're going to kill. Maybe it's everybody, because it seems like we're positioning ourselves to fight the fucking world.
Yeah.
And it's insane.
Or it's gonna be like R&D on a jet that makes you throw up when you hear it.
Yeah. Literally.
A real thing, by the way.
A real thing. And it's like, it's
or
funny,
a heart attack gun.
because it was coupled with the announcement that like what he's gonna like stop. He was mad at Raytheon for doing stock buybacks and like CEO pay and executive pay, but it's like he's not mad at a corporation for doing stock buybacks because that's just like wrong.
Yeah.
And that's just like unfettered capitalism or whatever.
Anti-competitive behavior.
He's like, allegedly mad at Raytheon for doing stock buybacks and paying executives too much because that would stop them from investing more in what's going to actually get people killed.
Yeah.
Like, come on, man. Like, if any company is doing executive bloat, I want it to be Raytheon, I guess. Like, I don't know. Like, I'd rather their money be less dedicated to R&D on the fucking kill you harder gun.
Yeah, I'm cool with like artificially bumping up stock prices if the alternative is killing more people.
Killing less. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
like creating more innovative Tomahawk missiles or some shit. Like, I'd rather just have the bad capitalism.
And it's just like, what do you mean 1.5 trillion? What do you mean we need to take what do you mean we need to 1.5x the military budget right now? Donald Trump is a child, dude.
Yeah.
Everything is just, no, this needs to be big and the most big. Everything is right. Again, when he did that Venezuela press conference on like earlier in the week, he's like, yeah, and also crime in DC is zero. What I did with the National Guard is amazing.
Yeah.
And that's why we're pulling out. Everything ever is awesome. I can't believe that ICE agent walked away with his life after being maybe allegedly grazed by a car, if that even happened. Also, $1.5 trillion in the military budget. Also, $2,000 checks to everybody. Also, $1,000 check to everybody. Also, $1,777, $6,000 or whatever the fuck to the goddamn military that didn't even like really happen. Everything is fake and huge to this guy. Yeah. And it's ridiculous. And I'm tired, man.
Yeah, he's got wicked vocal stems. Like, he just falls back on biggest ever, strongest ever.
$1,000 to you.
Yeah, this country was dead before I got elected.
Yeah. So everything sucks, and they're just Hitler. Every week they become more Hitler.
Yeah, no, it's crazy. Everyone's Hitler, man.
And
Everyone's Hitler.
I wasn't even that guy like before this administration like actually started.
It's changed you.
I wasn't even the kind of guy that was like running around. You could go to the earlier pods. I was not running around like, oh yeah, these guys are like the most fascist like Hitlers ever. But goddamn, are they the most fascist Hitlers ever?
And,
dude?
I would imagine that my Democratic Party will probably give Trump that military budget.
100%. There's gonna be votes for it.
Yeah, no one's gonna ask where that $600 billion extra is gonna come from.
Elissa Slotkin, no, because he said, oh fuck, that's the other thing. Trump said in the announcement it's gonna get paid for by tariff revenue.
It's not true.
We don't have that much tariff revenue. And I'm supposed to get $2,000 tariff dividend. Yeah, and the farmers are supposed to get paid back for you absolutely fucking the industry. Yeah. Like, what are we doing, man? Like, I just want to like focus on one thing. I just want to come to this show and be able to talk about like whatever we used to talk about.
We used to be able to break down state and local news, man.
Yeah.
And now look at us.
Like, we used to like crunch numbers sometimes. We used to like look at some things. We were talking about like railroad strike. That was bad, but like there was more to talk about. We'd follow up with that story for a while. And then now it's just, sorry guys, the previous thing that I thought was world shattering is old news now.
Yep.
We got a new world shattering event that just happened, and there's 2 episodes a week.
Yeah. No, it's just we are helpless to the whims of the news cycle, which is why you should become a patron.
You should become a patron.
This is all an elaborate sales pitch.
Trump wants a $1.5 trillion military budget. We need a $1.5 trillion Patreon budget.
Hell yes.
Imagine the good that we could do with that.
Hell yes. We would never stop fucking podcasting that. God
exactly.
Damn.
You get a $1.5 trillion HITO budget. That's the next goal on Patreon. Let's get there, folks.
Let's do it. Well, I think that brings us to the end of this fucking episode. Let's read these Spotify
reviews. What a goddamn fucking doozy. Yeah, I think we should. I think it's about time.
We got a couple of Spotify reviews here on our previous episode. This first one, 5 out of 5 stars from Mammon1. As a longtime listener, I am disappointed in your erasure of the first official HITO Book Club episode from June 2022.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah. You should revisit the episode's masterfully written novel for insight for when the author hopefully runs for president in 2028.
I'm with her 2028 would be crazy.
Given her expertise and her family's unquestionable honor, I can see no better candidate than Hillary Clinton, and she needs to take back what should have been hers, and party leadership will agree. I condemn all breaches of procedure. That's a goated review.
That is a goated review.
State of terror.
Shout out everybody who is here for OG HITO Book Club.
Yeah.
What a fucking phenomenal read right there. And you know what? If we go to war with Iran, maybe Hillary Clinton's got a case for being the girl.
Yeah.
Maybe we
I don't know, man. She'll have to wrestle it from Gavin Newsom's slimy hands.
What a good fucking time. This is next one from Bjorn. 5 out of 5 completely blacked out squares or abducted political leaders or whatever is relevant at the time this is being read. Huge, clairvoyant review right there. Can't describe how much I appreciate Jeremy, one of them, engages the other's work, right. So I'm not going to try. I absolutely hate political violence just as much as the Democratic Party hates taking accountability. That's big. That's the type of energy I need with these condemnations. My mom says, both of you are handsome, by the way. Can you please say to Clementine for me?
Yeah, she's taking a nap right now, so I'll do it later.
All the time. Wouldn't want to wake her up.
Exactly.
Napping on the job. Can you believe it?
Real. The next one from Willard, 10 out of 10, or 10 barrels of oil out of 10 barrels. As a longtime TikTok scroller and more recently a full-time listener to this podcast makes me not want to jump off a SB-17 compliant bridge every time Governor Hot Wheels and Trump's Looney Tunes cabinet cosplays as 1940s Germans. As always, I condemn Hamas in all forms of political violence, even if centrist Democrats exist.
Speaking of fucking people calling Greg Abbott Governor Hot Wheels, I completely forgot about the Texas Senate race too. That primary is like coming up, isn't it?
Yeah, in March, Jasmine Crockett, James Tallarico.
2025 feels light years away. 2025 feels like literally forever ago.
It's been 8 days.
It's only been 8 days. And I'm so stressed out again, like already, like with the news, man. The Epstein files feels like whatever. Like it feels like that's just over again. Like, aren't they supposed to be coming out with more of those?
I think so, but like I honestly can't wait till we have more Jasmine Crockett rhetoric and narratives and discourse.
Maybe she'll drop more AI baby videos.
AI baby video.
That was a good one when she did her speech, but it was the AI baby version.
What are we doing? We gotta finish.
Then James Tallarico is probably gonna switch, like slip up and do something awful. Maybe he's got a secret Nazi tattoo. I don't know, man. Literally anything can happen this election cycle. Maybe Jay Jones can say he would kill a Republican in a group chat and still win. I don't know. Stranger things have happened. That thing has happened.
We're moving like Jay Jones right now, folks.
That's fucking crazy. Next one from Cosmonaut Connor. Infinity out of 5 stars. I have joined the Patreon at the Kennedy package because I need to help leftist progressive news, and you dear listeners should support them too. I try my hardest to spread the gospel of Gas Gauge and Jolt Jeremy, and as always, I condemn political violence, political advisors, and the median voter.
Okay, I'll take these last two here since they're pretty short. First one from Woggle Wade. Thank you for calling out the UK's Labour government. 10 out of 10. Labour spelled with a U, so I know what you are. Last one from Okie Dokie. 5 out of 5 perp walks for these fellas. I don't know who is who, but I sure as hell know Clementine. And big shout out to the government for giving every frack their group costume for the year. Maduro and Delta Force. Keep up the NCIS compliance.
That's kind of awesome, though.
Yeah,
that kind of fucks crazy style.
Yeah, man, it's bad out
Couples
here. Couples
costume. I pull up in a Nike Tech and a sleep mask, and my girlfriend pulls up as an operator. What a time to fucking be alive.
Many options. We got 10 months until then, though.
Yeah.
It's only January 8th. Anyways, that brings us to the end of this fucking horror show. Let's get out of here with thanking these beautiful patrons.
Yeah, here's to whatever's going to happen over the weekend. Special thanks to Caden Kraut, Krista Bozeman, Chrissy Beck, Mike Kulinski, Clayton Fed, Mark Yeager, Caleb Joy, Rich Taro, Tari, Fergalaki, Mex Vesches, Jacob Rogers, Colt Newberry, Fixer Punk, Jim Egbers, Bagel Burrito, Cincy Elks, Joe Stenstrom, Adrian Sandoval, Chloe Sam 601, Colleen Cutts, Jennifer DeVoe, Crawfish, and Benny III, Alexi Benanti, Big Booty Beatdown, Sam Maloney, Ted Cruz, Boy Toy, Dictator Jace, Luke O'Shea, Cocker Charleston, Danielle Jackson, The Word of Microsoft, Jennifer Signs, Aaron His Gundam Gundams, Darth Father, Taylor for Content, Corey Chambers, Retro Mondo, Veronica, aka V, Raxon, Ass Smith, The Grotler, Murder in a Trench Coat, Casey Lynn Kelly, AK Gon, Iguanodon, Zach Lantian, Austin Greif, Marcus Corbett, Caleb Roper, Taylor Rensock, Cami, Tylen Freeman, Isaac Hodges, Madeline C, Anna Valinic, KCC, Say Yes to Wes, August, Particular Pikmin, Sir Capilot, Jeff Sines, Brendan's Egg, Froggy Gumdrop, Jackie Boy, Shameless, Coherent Babbles, MJ is Sharp, Michaela Muncie, The Wallace 3000, Chris T, Kashan Lala, Amanda R, Tiger J, Particulon, Memfrez, Rhonda Stiletto, Midwest Marxist, Joe the Man, Gary from West Michigan, Shawnee GG, Juniper, not Jupiter,
Stacks Crabs, I Crowley, Urban Peach, Lord of Four, Lauren, Holt Forsyth, Booty Snakes, Dew Fairy, Chelceratops, Austin Lima, Lane Waltz, Azim Fit Hussein, Gorgeous Girl Mukes, Brooklyn G, Noverk the Dastardly, Goldthorn, Addy Buck, Merlin, Cryobonky, Sergeant Pookie, Hoodie, Kim Kitchragi, Rose Grimm, Kristen, Jamie the Young Extremist, Jack the Heathen, Archer W, Evan Mingo, AJ Torres, Elo Nico, Jake Hall, Seth Schmidt, Noah Sajas, Majawat, Ultra the Dragon, Mercy Boku, Dick Cheney and 6 Inch Heels, Luke Wechter, Henry Kraggles, Tristan Ringsmith, Yaya, Asura the Atheist, Aiden Reese, Deep State Agent, Puddle Pirate, Southern Lefty, Lark61, KC, Cannon Man, Troy H, Rourke Muffalo, Nahan San Diego, Nut Mode, Nick from New Haven, Maven, Connor Nix, Sound Logic, Sleven, I've Never Made a Woman Orgasm, John from Houston, Jordino, Haley Weibold, Pablo Vasquez, Nurse Jen, Soul DJ, Maple Big Dog, CIA Small Creators Fun, Taylor from Burnt Down Minneapolis, Northeast Nick, Aya, Retired AF and SC, YK Coolin, Woofer G, Gayest Worm, Niles Chamberlain, Sugar Free, Baja Blast, Kristen the Leftist Nurse, Fake Airplane, TJ Loves Colleen, Mothman's Gay Lover, Real Jesus Christ, Queerla, Carter Gethin, Blue Loon 92, 1,000 Miniature Horses, and my mom. Thank you all so much.
Huge.
For supporting the show on Patreon. Eventually, we're going to get this list so long that we simply don't have the time to read it all.
Yeah, exactly.
And we're not there yet.
Help us get there, though.
Yeah, help us get there. Help us make it just a scroll on the video.
Wouldn't that be great?
Yeah.
Wouldn't that be phenomenal?
One of these days, and it can only happen.
It can only happen with your support.
Listen, those of you that are getting in now, it's like the last chopper out of Vietnam. Once we get there, it's gone.
We're blowing in 2026. Like we're blowing up like hugely. Mm-hmm. Like you got to get your name in there. You got to get your name read. Imagine you're the last name read. Mm-hmm. Imagine you're that guy.
Yeah, you need that. Anyways, thank you for listening, and we'll see you next time.
Help us get to $1.5 trillion on Patreon. Have a great weekend.